And I guess that's where AI, you mentioned, we can go a bit deeper. That's where it plays a huge role as well, because you have a lot of structured data, and now with advances, and now you even like protein structures, and you can bring everything together.
It is actually a little interesting that now everybody's talking about it. Data and importance of data and structured data and learning from data and so on. It's a journey we started back in the zeros, because then data became, you actually began already at that point of time with the next generation of sequencing, the high throughput screening. That was all in the zeros, right? And that created data richness that you had to deal with. So we started, unfortunately, at that time we had to do it ourselves because you couldn't buy bespoke models to handle all that. So we had to build some of it from scratch. Now, fortunately, you can collaborate with large companies like Benchling or Siemens or whoever. We work with Benchling to do a data repository from end to end, and having, you could say, everything from idea to product linked. And you can monitor what went on with that. When you have that, then you can start putting your machine learning, and then with machine learning algorithms, AI, on to do more predictiveness, build, let's say, a digital twin for production. Then you can optimize in the digital twin before you actually implement it in the plant. So you can actually move the parameters in silico and see, okay, no, that was not a good idea. Okay, we do this instead. That was better. Okay, and that would narrow, say, the variability that comes out in our production and improve it.
And how much the advances in machine learning in the last, 3-5 years and Gen AI, how much does it had an impact on everything you just mentioned?
So as I said, we don't do X-ray crystallography anymore for structures. It's AI. It's AlphaFold. And we're expanding our numbers of structures to more than 20 million for a period of, let's say, in the beginning, it was slowly built up, and we had maybe 6 million last year in the spring. Then we implemented a new service in the NVIDIA GPU, so got a lot more calculation power. And then now it's grown from over a year from a few millions to more than 20.
And AlphaFold, do you have a commercial license with DeepMind?
Actually, that some of it is freeware that you can you can actually take, and then you can evolve on that for our purpose. So some of it is freeware. For other things more advanced, it's commercial licenses. But some you can simply, it's free.
But you still need to adapt it to your use case.
Oh yes. You always have to iterate a little bit and adapt it. And then the other thing, we would like to keep our data for us. That's usually how companies sees it, right? So our data is our data. And there's an interesting perspective in this, because normally when you do research, you'll be hypothesizing and looking for a specific outcome. And then you would design your workflow towards that. So you have less interest on the variation around it. And with what we know today, you actually have to create more variability in your experimentation, because that will enrich your algorithm and machine learning.
The algorithm can manage more complexity.
Exactly, handle that variation. It actually needs a variation to be trained proper. That's why you see the large language models. They have the whole internet as a data foundation. So in the future, some of the capacity that you get from downscaling and more automation, faster high throughput assays need to be used also to create more variation.
And also on that topic, the digital twin and in silico modelization, I guess it's in your case a bit easier than in a pharma setting, where I think modeling the human body is still...
There's a lot of complexity. There's a reason why it starts in a place. And now it's a large language model. Where do you have enough that you can teach? There's protein models now. There's a lot. And now with AlphaFold and everything, there's a lot of AI on protein models. And the predictability of interaction with molecules, with protein interaction and so on. So I think in pharma, you will see a great benefit of this, especially for antibody receptor or receptor binding and so on. You can start modeling in a whole different way than you were able to. So there, I think, but then, the translation, let's say, for a DNA model into productivity, highly complex still. Also in our world. Modeling
like a yeast or strain manufacturing, that's complicated, but I guess...
yes, taking the whole sort of, if you take a microorganism, it has all the functions, you'd say, of one of our cells, right?
Yeah.
It really is complicated, and small changes will make potentially huge changes in the metabolic output, and that is still, there's no such thing as a good AI model yet. On even a microorganism, as you said, doing this on a human body where you have different types of let's say, specialized cell functions, and having that speak together is even worse. But I do think that pharma will benefit a lot from machine learning because of the variation in data. And what we've learned is that some of this will be able to find the odd, interdependencies. I have a story.
A human would not even think about them.
I have a funny story I keep telling is we hired a mathematician from an insurance company.
Okay.
And he had no idea of biology, right? But he went and looked at parameters from a production of a certain product. And looked at all the variability of what went into this, records of everything from substrates when you did what to the strain and in the fermentation and this and that. I said, there's no correlation except between this thing, which I don't know what is, and output here. And then somebody looked at it and said, but that is when we shift dosing profile from a certain carbohydrate to another. And if you do that at that stage, it has detrimental effect. If we do it here, it's better. Good. Let's do it here.
So really data scientists.
It's a small, stupid example maybe, but it just tells you that some of these technologies will take us to new places.